Okay, greetings everybody. Dr. Tormey here with a week 6 overview and update. Greetings from downtown Murfreesboro on a Sunday afternoon. To begin, I'd like to offer a note of encouragement and some clarification as we enter the middle third of the semester. First of all, my ungrading policy is calculated to assign as many passing grades as possible. There's no reason why any of you should be penalized by the fact that I'm relearning this course after having not taught it for 18 years, and also because I'm using a series of new approaches and materials that I'm not familiar with and that I'm creating and developing course content as we move forward. So I am encouraging you to stick with it. But the second part to that is that you need to do your part, and that involves being sure that you're submitting all of the course assignments to the appropriate discussion boards or drop boxes, and you're doing them with reasonable competence and on deadline. You're also making your way through the items on each weekly checklist, and if you're in the in-person section, you're making it to class regularly or keeping in touch if you're out sick or for any other reason. For those who are struggling to keep up or might be falling behind for whatever other reason, I offer here the reminder that any demonstration of the soft skills associated with being a student, those include showing up, doing the work, keeping in touch, being clear about what you're supposed to be doing, all of those things will take you a long way towards your goal of making it through English 1020. So if you've missed some assignments, if you're behind, otherwise you can still catch up. Remember, I base my final grade on the principles expressed in the ungrading statement that I've made and posted in the week 4 and week 5 homepage updates. And that means that I consider the totality of your work and the extent to which you've demonstrated proper soft skills over the course of this 15-week term. So if you're behind, just make your way through each weekly checklist. Those are linked on each homepage update, and also accessible through the content page. And make sure that you're making your way through the checklist, turning assignments in as you're able and into the proper drop boxes or discussion boards, whatever the case might be. This week, we are continuing with the project of developing our bibliographies. They also go by works cited entries or works cited pages. And you'll see in this week's checklist some additional information about source use, focused on summarizing content, evaluating credibility, acknowledging biases, and other critical details. I should also say that the checklist will probably assume its most complete form by midweek. I'll be adding things later today and probably a few more things on Monday morning early. And then I'll be updating the bibliography assignment handout from last week to this week by Wednesday. Or thereabouts. So hopefully it'll be ready for class on Wednesday and we can go over it and make sure that everybody's clear on what you're going to be doing. So if you give the week 6 checklist a look on Monday or Tuesday, please do log in again later in the week to ensure that you've gotten everything that's there for you. As week 6 unfolds, you'll be reworking your bibliography based on whatever new sources you've gathered to this point, because you want to keep researching, keep adding to the body of materials that you will be working with and working into your essay draft and then later your essay, and also the materials for the next part of class, which we'll talk about in more detail next week. But you'll be listing your sources and including annotations, which are basically 4 to 5 sentence summaries that accompany each item entered on your bibliography. If you're in a position to add another source or two, please do so by all means. And remember the point we've been stressing about good sources. One good source can provide you with a full array of search terms and other references to drive other searches. And as you refine your search process. Your articles will get more specified and more specific, more focused on your topic, and that process will pay dividends when it's time to articulate a thesis and formulate an argument. So by week's end, you should have a fully annotated bibliography to submit, which will be due, as always, by 7 a.m. on Monday morning, that in this case at the beginning of week 7. And that'll be the last week before spring break, so more on that and midterm developments at that point. So that should cover the week ahead. So for now, I will sign off. Hope everybody has a great week, and good luck and take care.